come in? Yes, come in. But dear friends, have you not done it yet?
It is done.
It is.
I have passed through the bitterest moments of my life.
Also, I trust the most ennobling.
Well, at any rate, we have got through it for the present.
God forgive you, Mr. Worley.
But I don't understand this.
What don't you understand?
After so many crises, a crisis that used to be the starting point of a whole new life, of a communion founded on truth, free of all tainted deception.
Yes, I know that quite well.
Well, I confidently expected, upon entering the room, to find the light of transfiguration shining upon me from husband and wife. Now all I see is dullness, suppression, gloom.
Oh, is that it?
You will not understand me, Mrs. Eckerley. Without me time to... But you, young man, sure you feel a new consecration after the great crisis.
A sort of way.
Surely nothing in the world can compare with the joy of forgiving one who was erred and raising her up to oneself in love.
Do you think a man could so easily throw off the bitter cup that I have drained?
I'm not a common man, perhaps, but a man like you.
Good God. You know that quite well. But you must give me up to it, Gregor. It takes time.
You have much of the wild duck in you, Yama.
Oh ho! Is the wild duck to the fore again?
Yes, Mr. Worley's Winbrook and Victor.
Ah, Mr. Worley's. So it was him you were talking about.
Him and ourselves.
May the devil fly away with you.
What is it that you are saying?
Only uttering a heartfelt wish that this quacksalver would take himself off. If he stays here, he is quite equal to making an utter mess of life for both of you.
These two will not make a mess of life, Mr. Wellington. Of course, I won't speak of Yalma, him we know. Surely, she too, in her innermost heart, has certainly something loyal and sincere.
You might have left me alone for what I was then!
Is it rude to ask what you really want in this house?
To lay the foundations of a true marriage.
So, you don't think Echel's marriage good enough as it is?
No doubt his marriage is as good as most others' worst luck, but a true marriage is yet to become.
You've never had eyes for the claims of the ideal, Rowan.
Rubbish! Excuse me, Mr. Worthy, but how many, in round numbers, how many true marriages have you seen in the course of your lives?
Scarcely a single one.
Nor I neither.
But I have seen innumerable marriages of the opposite kind. It has been my fate to see at close quarters what ruin such a marriage can work into human souls.
A man's whole moral basis may give way beneath his feet. That is the terrible part of it.
Well, I've never been exactly married, so I don't pretend to speak with authority, but this I know, that the child enters into the marriage problem, and you must leave the child in peace.
Oh, Hedwig, my poor Hedwig.
Yes, you must be good enough to keep Hedwig outside of all this. You two are grown-up people. You are free, in God's name, to make what mess and muddle you please of your lives, but you must deal cautiously with Hedwig, I tell you, else you may do her a great injury.
What injury?
Yes, or she may do herself an injury, Dad, perhaps others too.
How can you know that, Riley?
We're safe in no immediate danger.
I'm not talking about her sight. Hedwig, she's at a critical age. She may be getting all sorts of mischief into her head.
That's true. I've noticed it already. She's taken to carrying on the fire out in the kitchen. She calls it playing a house on fire. I'm often scared for fear
thought as much.
But how do you account for that?
Her constitution's changing, sir!
As long as the child has me,